Hey guys, how's it going? So let me ask you a question. What are battle harems? Well, in the anime industry, they're basically what you would consider the anime industry's fast food. And today I'll explain to you why, in this little segment on my channel called Roasted Media, where I talk about anime, games, manga, and other things, and why it can be a problem. Or at least why I think it can be a problem. So anyways, back on topic. Battle harems are basically fast food. They aren't the McDonald's, Burger King, or the Taco Bell. No, those have to meet standards, before they even begin to be noticed. And when it comes to things like editors, well, basically they enforce that. Think of the editors like politicians who, force regulations to make fast food safer to eat. The McDonald's of the anime industry is basically stuff like Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. As for stuff like Yu Yu Hakusho, if Dragon Ball is the American branch of McDonald's, think of Yu Yu Hakusho as the European branch. It's a lot more healthier over there to eat McDonald's than it is over here. And the reason being because there's so many more regulations that make it better for your body. And to have a good idea of how healthy McDonald's in Europe can be, well, they have to be a certain miles away from where they get their food. They have to make sure that they get it very quick. Otherwise, they won't even be allowed to exist there. Now, on to battle harems. They are basically fast food, but they're not the fast food that's like McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, all that other shit, They're not the kind that you should ever consider regularly consuming, even like once a week. Or at least you should never regularly consume it and expect great things to happen. The most you can expect is the worst stomach virus you've ever had. Battle harems tend to be the fast food joints that no one has ever heard about. The ones that are really out there, that are like off the grid. They basically have little to no recognition and are basically like off the grid, They're the bad experiments. And not experiments where they experiment with ideas, but by adding in as many troped up generic females, generic fake underdog self-insert protagonists, and generic plots altogether. Essentially, it's just like tossing in as many chemicals as possible into a beaker or whatever, and hoping you come out with something good. 9 times out of 10, I'd bet you have like a vile explosive material that will destroy all credibility you have as a scientist. There's a reason they call them mad scientists, and it's because most of the time, they don't know jack shit about what they're fucking doing. In the case of battle harems, they tend to use the same plots, same main character who's always getting stronger despite him already seeming to be the strongest in one way or another, the same female leads who lose all notice of their prior desires and goals just to make the reader, who self-inserts, feel like, he's the most important god among men and women, that somehow he's that important, that everybody just has to drop what they're doing to notice him. And of course to make money on, experimenting on the public with this, disgustingly bad written concoction. Just like pouring in shit after shit, oh well, that's starting to bubble. Let's add some more shit in. Oh, it's bubbling big. Let's add more. Let's add more. Bleh. I've already talked about High School DD, but let's talk about another anime. Say Kensuke no World Break. Let's check off all the tropes I can remember off the top of my head of this, this melting pot of shit, piss, and rotten dairy products. Does the MC have a way to power up when he needs one? Check 1 for new power that came from his past life. Do the females start off madly in love with him or unusually close to him after barely meeting him, with the reason given being nothing but an excuse for fan service? Check 1 for we were lovers in a past life. Does every power the MC has make him stronger than everybody else around him at the time, and make everyone else's attempts at being contributing members in combat seem pointless? Check, though I do admit that some of his powers, at least some of the stuff he does, at least makes it that he needs someone to distract the enemy while he casts like a spell. But that doesn't erase the points I made. Rather, it just adds an extra 10% to a test score if this was a test, and it gets a failing grade. Battle harems always have these kinds of things, in one way or another. It meets the bar of shit. And not all the time are they bad. Sometimes they're, okay, But most of the time they're really shit. And sometimes they can be a little bit more tolerable due to things like, the English dub. Like High School DD's first season. It wasn't the worst first season they could have had. It was okay. But the English dub made it way better than it was. Or at least it made it sound better than it was. I mean, even when it comes to personality, either the character is a one-tone altruistic doormat for women, like a white knight, like Amakawa Yuto from Omamori Himari, which was arguably not the worst case. Or an indecisive space case who can't even decide what kind of a person he wants to be, like Ayato Amagiri. Do you want to be the loner, the guy just sitting around being like, ugh, I can't be bothered to do this shit. I'm too awesome and cool for this shit. Or do you want to be like, oh, don't worry, milady, I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. You gotta pick and choose. You can't be both. But that's all I gotta say. I really just wanted to get a quick video out. It's been a while since I made a video, and I'm testing out the quality of my headset mic after I figured out just what I'm supposed to do to use it properly. So it's Turtle Beach Recon 60p, I think. Let me see. Yeah, Turtle Beach Recon 60p. So yeah, anyways, like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever, or dislike if you hated it, because some of them weeaboos out there, they just can't have good taste. Well, not that my taste is much better, but hey,